about a year since I first tried Aerie's offline activewear, and they're constantly launching new cute stuff. So today I figured we had to revisit. So I bought a bunch of new pieces from Aerie's collection, and they're always keeping things pretty affordable, which I like about Aerie. And I feel like we got a good range of stuff. If you guys are new here, my name is Kathryn. I do a lot of honest activewear reviews. Make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you have not already. And let's get into trying these. I will say, I feel like I really loved the Aerie Real Me leggings when I first tried them, and I kind of have fallen out of love with them a little bit. I don't know. Over time, I just feel like the fabric hasn't really been holding up the best. So we got some different fabrics today. So I got the Offline by Aerie ribbed leggings. So I always put the name of the item on the screen when I do these reviews, but some of these names, I cannot do it. Like, they're like Offline by Aerie Real Me. Then they go into like the high-waisted crossover flare legging. Like, when brands have to have so many parts of their name before you actually get to the point, I can't do it. Like, we get it. Everything is Offline by Aerie. You don't have to say that on every single item. Anyways, I got these ribbed leggings in this beautiful blue color. So these were slightly on sale for me. They're originally $49.95 and I got them for $44. I don't know for what reason they were having a sale, but they were. I got the size small long. Something I love about Aerie is that they always have the short, regular, and long lengths, which isn't as common as you would think. So we got these ribbed leggings. They feel a little heavy, definitely heavier than the usual Real Me fabric. Okay, and they're just ribbed inside and out. Sometimes with ribbed leggings, they're kind of brushed on the inside to make them extra soft. Here's the material, ribbed, super stretchy, and then the inside is just regular ribbed. So these are seamless at the top, but like so many brands, they're behind the times. They're still having this front seam. I don't get it. It seems like all the brands like Abercrombie, I don't know what other brands have long lengths, maybe Lululemon, all these brands that have multiple lengths in their leggings have a front seam. So I'm like, okay, I can have leggings that fit my entire leg, but I'm gonna have a raging camel. I'd rather have my leggings a little bit short. And the seams on the back are just kind of flat across, so they might not be the most flattering, but let's give it a try. Okay, so here are the leggings. And sometimes I hate ribbed leggings, sometimes I love them. I'm actually really enjoying how these fit. So they're very true to size. If you're in between, you can really go either way. Nice high rise. I didn't really even have to pull these up, and I can't pull them up very much or else we get problems. So I do still get a little bit of a camel situation here with the front seam. It's not too bad, but definitely more than the Real Me leggings. The waistband also slightly dips down in the front for a little extra lower tummy control. And this material, it's technically a nylon spandex, but it feels more like a cottony rib. It's definitely gonna keep its shape better than cotton, but sometimes ribbed materials can feel a little bit slick, a little sleek performance, a little slippery. These ones feel like they aren't going to slide down quite as much as like a slippery rib. Anyways, we're getting about a light to medium compression overall. These feel kind of a little more like a lounge legging to me. Could you work out in them? Sure, but they definitely feel a little more cottony, and I would worry that these would show sweat quite a bit. So I probably would recommend sticking to lounge in these. The seams do go above the glutes, but they're just flat across. So we're just gonna do a medium on the booty scale, but it really could be worse. And these also would probably give pretty good cellulite coverage because of the rib. So I would say these are a pretty solid legging. Definitely good for like errands, going about, maybe even a walk, but I probably wouldn't do any hardcore workouts in these. And let's give a try to the bra that goes with that. So this is the ribbed Razorback sports bra. Oh, I'm glad it's Razorback. I love a good Razorback. I'm actually wearing a ribbed top right now that has straight up and down straps. They just fell off. I love a good Razorback. So this one's originally $39. I got it for $35. Okay, and it has like kind of a hidden elastic along the bottom, which I like because it still looks seamless, but you get the support of that elastic. It's pretty seamless overall. This kind of reminds me of their ribbed swimwear. And we do have a seam that separates the cup pads, and you can kind of see that sewn in elastic along the bottom. And it's lined with this like more nylon based material that feels nice and soft. It's gonna be nice and soft against the skin. So off to a good start. Let's try this on. Okay, so I actually really like this sports bra. So it looks super seamless from the front, but it has that elastic band in there. And that's like my favorite way to do a sports bra. They have the band, but it's seamless. Pretty good coverage and support. Gonna go with maybe like a medium coverage. We still do get a little scoop, a little peak of cleavage, and then potentially a teeny bit of side boob, but I'm for sure staying contained in this. And the support, maybe light to medium for support. Nice thick straps, but they're super soft, so I don't expect them to cut into me at all. And then just a Razorback in the back. There are no harsh seams or anything on this bra, so it's really not gonna cut in anywhere. So I'm liking that it's soft, but also definitely enough support for me personally at the gym. This isn't like a running bra or anything. It would be enough for weightlifting. Okay, I don't know if I've tried the flare leggings on my channel before. You know what? We did in my flare legging video, but in that video I had to try on these like super pale, like tan ones. They just weren't a super flattering color for me, nor were they very opaque. So we're trying them again, except this time in a more like neutral navy blue color. So these are the TikTok famous, if you will, the flare leggings with the crossover waistband. And these are made of the Real Me fabric. So the Real Me fabric, super thin, not super cellulite friendly. It also can peel a little bit over time. So it's not the most durable fabric, but it's kind of like what you expect out of an aligned fabric. Super soft, but maybe not for like high intensity workouts, which who's really working out in flare leggings? If you are, I don't know how you don't get caught on equipment. These were $50 originally. I got them for $31. I don't know how these sales end up being, but I also got the long length, which is usually a little long for me, but the regular length is usually a little too short. So let's give it a try. Okay, so I have mixed feelings about these. First of all, so glad that they have multiple lengths. I got the long length and I feel like it's a good length for me. I just don't think you should make flare leggings unless you're gonna make multiple lengths, because one length truly does not fit all for flare leggings, because if these were any shorter on me, they would look like floods. Anyways, let's start out with the cross waist. So these are about a mid to high rise, not too high for my shorter torso ladies. I still feel like this is a good height for me because we just get a little bit of belly button, but it comes up on the sides a little bit. So this does dip down again in the front. They're really good about doing that. Gives you a little extra lower tummy control. These do have a front seam, but the Real Me front seams are just the most minimally invasive front seams ever. So I really don't have a problem with these. I don't think they cause me any camel. I don't really see them causing most people camel. The thing that conflicts me about the Real Me fabric is that I love how lightweight it is. It's a great summer fabric. It's also a super naked feel. I love a fabric that just kind of hugs every curve, doesn't feel super restrictive. Like this is super stretchy, but sometimes it does look a little bit shiny, especially in this like darker color. And I just feel like sometimes that little shine can look a little bit cheap. Let me know what you guys think about what these look like, but I'm actually liking these more than when I initially tried them. In the flare, I will say it clings to my calf a little bit at the top, but it's not like super tight on them to the point where it looks weird. Like I still think this is like a good amount of flare for me, but it's a pretty large flare at the bottom. Like that's a lot of fabric. Overall compression on these is about a light compression. And since this fabric is so thin, it is not very cellulite friendly. And booty scale, I wish this was just a little bit higher, but I'm still gonna go with medium to high on the booty scale because this fabric is so lightweight. It really does not squish the glutes down at all. And the seams basically go to the hip bones. So I still think it's flattering on the glutes. Honestly, I've tried so many flare leggings and not a lot of them are great, that this is definitely a top choice. Okay, next we have this fun little dress. This is the ribbed cutout dress. So this came in a few different colors, and some of the colors, it looked like a different color top than bottom. So it almost looked like you were wearing two different pieces. Why on earth would you include these little straps? Is anyone hanging it up in their closet like this? Unless that's not the real purpose for the straps. I'm sure someone will tell me if I'm completely incorrect, but I always thought that these little clear straps were so you could hang them up in your closet. But why would you have to hang them up by that when they already have straps here? So that's gonna be fun to try these on and avoid that. But I thought this was cute. It has a little ribbed material up top. It does have a built-in elastic shelf lining, but there are no cup pads. It's like I can only get one or the other around here. I just reviewed the Buffbunny exercise dress and it had cup pads, but no elastic. And this one has elastic, but no cup pads. The girls who want both, we just can't have it all. But nice little stretchy ribbed material. I'm not sure I love this little like waistband situation going on, but I like that it's like a little skirt at the bottom. And then we also have built-in shorts. I feel like they missed the opportunity to put a pocket on these shorts, but that's okay. Let's try it on. Okay, here's the dress. I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how this is working for me as someone who has a long torso. I also like that they have the waistband like on the skirt still, and it's actually like a functional waistband that you can tighten and make it just like a little more fitted to your shape. So the top does have the built-in bra. It doesn't have any cup pads, so you know, it's not offering a ton of shape. You still might get some nippage. But overall, I'm gonna say medium to full coverage on top. Support, I'm actually a medium support. And again, I have a long torso. I'm kind of shocked that like if I like bend over even in the slightest, this kind of like gapes open. So if your torso is much shorter than mine, you might get just like a weird gaping all the time in this area, which I don't feel like is super cute. Anyways, this area is providing some support. It's got the shelf lining underneath, and I like that it kind of looks like I'm wearing like a bodysuit and a skirt, but it still matches. This material here is very similar to the little Smocked running shorts. And then we have the ribbed material that makes up the inner bodysuit. There's no side pocket or anything, and this is definitely not quite as stretchy as the skirt lining, so a little less thick thigh friendly. So I would say if you're bigger on the bottom than on the top, definitely pick your size based on your like short or legging size, and maybe size up if in between. But yeah, I'm not sure I love the design overall, but I like what they were trying to do. I think I would have liked if this was maybe like a solid color instead, and if they added cup pads, that would be perfect, but still a super cute little summer dress. Okay, next, some fun little running shorts. So these are the Smocked running shorts. It's giving me like skirt vibes. I don't usually love big waistbands like this. It's giving juvenile. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a cute look on me. This is the Real Me fabric on the inside, which is super soft, lightweight, stretchy, and that is the inside, and it's a short lining. So I love a short lining because you get good coverage, so you're not gonna flash anyone if this part kind of flies up, and you still don't get underwear lines because you don't have like the underwear shaped lining, which is never a flattering look for me. And we also have pockets on the inside, so I love that they added the pockets for this one. Let's give it a try. Okay, so here are the shorts, and this style of waistband is very forgiving because it's super stretchy. It's like almost a teeny bit itchy. It's just not my favorite. I don't know what this style of waistband reminds me of, but definitely some sort of early 2000s clothing, like those little crinkled shirts. And I don't know, just not loving that. Overall, true to size though, I'm not getting squished anywhere. They're not the flowiest of shorts, but that's fine. They're just kind of like slightly loose around my body, and they have like a little tulip detail at the side, and then they have these internal shorts, thick thigh friendly as well. These are not cutting in, and they also have pockets on the inside, so you can still store things. So I think these are a cute functional short. I really love that they have the inner short lining because I really don't see that very often, and they're not too short, not too long. You're not gonna flash anyone because you have the lining, and they have the pockets. So I feel like these ones are pretty functional. I just wish the waistband was a little bit different, but for all the things that are going on in the shorts that I like, I think I would still recommend them. I wanted to get a sports bra to go with the shorts. So this is the Goals Strappy Sports Bra. So whenever you see Real Me, it's going to be that lightweight, buttery, soft fabric. When you see Goals, it's going to be a performance material. We learned this the first time that we did an Aerie review, but this is an interesting fabric. This doesn't feel like the Goals material that we had before, but I'm not hating it. It's different. So as you can see, the cups are a little more like molded, and it's one of those fabrics that has like kind of a raw cut edge, but like a firmer edge. So here's the material up close. It's kind of like those like seamless underwear, Ebby, or I think like Victoria's Secret used to have them too, but I hope you can see what I mean. It's kind of like thickened at the edges, so it doesn't have to have a true hem. So I could be into this. The cups still are removable. I feel like they could have just taken the opportunity to make them built-in cups, but even though they're removable, it looks like they're pretty like settled in their places and they're not gonna move around. And this is actually a super cute open strappy back. Kind of looks like those like TikTok bras that you see people wearing that just are like super strappy in the back that like show off the back gains. Let's try it on. I'm a little disappointed in this bra. I think because it had such structured little cup spaces that I'm not quite fitting into the designated space, that it's almost a little bit uncomfortable or looks a little awkward. Like I'm kind of spilling out, it curves around in and then pushes me out a little bit. So I would say it's best for like a C, maybe even a D cup, but not much more. Even though there's no true elastic, it is a little bit firmer in the fabric material along the bottom. Maybe that isn't elastic. I don't know. They kind of just doubled up on the fabric. So I'm still feeling nice and secure along the bottom. And the back of this bra is super cute. You have really awesome strappy details. It's very open, so it's lightweight for summer. So I wish this one worked for me. If you're like a C or D or below, I would recommend this bra. I think it's super cute, but it's just not really working for me. And sometimes I also feel like you can see, I don't know, the embossing of this material through the top a little bit. Overall, not a huge deal. Coverage, I'm gonna go with medium coverage. It's actually still pretty good. And support around a light to medium. So it's not crazy, but That bag is so cute. Okay, then I got 2 pairs of shorts. I wanted to get a biker short because that is kind of my preferred length. So these are the Offline macrame 7-inch bikers. So they have like this cute little like side detailing, super lightweight. The front seam on the Real Me fabric, like I don't even know if it's possible for it to cause camel. So I actually am totally fine with the front seam on these. And I love a 7-inch inseam. I feel like it's a great biker length. These look nice and high rise. So here's a close-up of the macrame side detailing as well as the Real Me fabric. Here I am talking about how this fabric can't give camel. Well, here I am. Here I am proving myself wrong. Apparently it can. I don't know why. Some of these do and some of them don't. It's still not too bad, but I definitely feel like I'm getting some here. Putting that aside, these are definitely more my style of short. Love the 7-inch inseam. I feel like that's super hard to find. No top band. Dip down in the front again. It seems like all of their waistbands are doing that. I also just really like the seams that they use here. I just feel like they're super stretchy and not restricting, which sometimes seams can be the main restricting thing. The 7-inch inseam is awesome. These are also very thick thigh friendly. I am getting a little bit of tightness at the end of these, but they're not cutting into me at all, and I have kind of larger thighs for my size. So I would say these are thick thigh friendly. The detailing on the side is super cute. You definitely have to pull your underwear up a bit so it hides under the waistband and not in the little slits, because that is my skin underneath this. About a high rise on these. Compression is maybe light to medium. Sometimes on shorts I get a little bit more compression. I'm just gonna say medium booty scale. I might change it after I watch this back, but I'm thinking medium booty scale. And yeah, still not a lot of cellulite coverage, maybe more in these darker colors. But I think these shorts are super cute. I would love to see like a plain short like this with like a pocket. I don't know if they have those, but that would be awesome. And then just for fun, we got the Goals 2-inch super shorty. So I think wow, these are so short. You know what? It's literally in the name. We can't be surprised. I mostly got these because they have no front seam. And I remember when I first reviewed Aerie last year, the only leggings that they had with no front seam were also in the Goals fabric, which is like a more compressive performance material, which is the same as we have here. So I just don't understand if they're capable of making no front seam, why they only do it on this one fabric. But either way, you know, you don't often see a 2-inch inseam, which seems really short, but sometimes I do see the appeal because 4 inches tend to roll on people. So if you just have less fabric, you get less rolling. But yeah, we have this kind of dense performance material, 2-inch inseam, super short, seamless waistband as well, which is awesome. And just straight across on the glutes. And here is the up close of the fabric. It's just a sleek performance material. Pretty stretchy. All right, I had no business buying these shorts. First of all, my glutes are they're just out. So 2-inch shorts, not enough for me. I like a lot of other things about them though. They're seamless, you got a little compressive waistband. Overall compression, I would say like medium to high. The Goals material is pretty performance and compressive. Love that there's no front seam. Don't see that enough on Aerie shorts and leggings. They have this little like slit at the side. I guess it's to make them like a little more thick thigh friendly or something, but I just feel like it looks like I am really pushing these shorts to their limit. I don't even think it covers my glutes entirely, so. But for my shorter gals, maybe this is something that you would like, and we're just gonna go with, gosh, I think I might even say low to medium on the booty scale. I just don't really feel like I'm getting a lot of contouring of the glutes. This is a little bit low and potentially squishing down a bit. So a little too short for me, but I like what's going on with the shape and the material. And in case anyone's wondering, they can still roll when you squat. So they're like even shorter now. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, that's it for the video. Now a little keep or return section. I feel like if I liked the ribbed leggings, I would definitely be keeping the ribbed sports bra. But since I don't really love the leggings, I wouldn't want to just keep one of them. I would also definitely consider keeping the flare leggings. I feel like I liked this color and they're just a solid flare legging. And then the biker shorts, the macrame shorts, I also really liked those. If you made it this far, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, be sure to do so. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!